whole video out. I don't have it, or I wouldn't myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media.
Count the number of publications that have talked about it or written about it, networks, etc. It's all over the internet. It's everywhere. And I know that.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my business worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane. I ain't gonna with nobody.
In a jaw-dropping segment that lit up the sports world, Stephen A. Smith took the gloves off and obliterated Floyd Mayweather live on air, calling him out over shocking allegations of blackmailing scam victims. The ESPN host, known for his fiery takes and unapologetic honesty, held nothing back as he blasted the boxing legend for what he called one of the most disgraceful things he's ever seen in professional sports. With mounting reports suggesting Mayweather may have used his influence and resources to silence victims of alleged scams linked to his business ventures, Smith's explosive monologue sent a clear message: enough is enough.
Floyd Mayweather, the highest paid athlete, not the highest paid boxer, the highest paid athlete in the world. I had the opportunity and pleasure to be around him for many years. I was his personal shopper. I was a personal friend of his family. One of my greatest memories of being just lucky enough to even be around that environment was watching him train. Watching Floyd Mayweather train is a masterclass in discipline. It is a masterclass in work ethic. It is a masterclass in this is how you execute and get stuff done. Every rep, he hits it hard. There's not one lazy rep. He does everything at such a high frequency, so elevated. I'm like, goodness gracious, watching this man train, it's like, that's how I want to train for life. I've been to the club with Floyd where we leave in the club 3, 4 in the morning and he's still going to hit his 6 miles. He'll have all the cars follow him and he's running down the Las Vegas Strip, down back streets.
Stephen A. Smith has seen firsthand the extravagant lifestyle that Floyd Mayweather leads, and it's hard to overlook the sheer opulence that defines his existence. One of the most notable aspects of Mayweather's wealth is his obsession with luxury cars. It's been reported that Floyd owns over 100 cars, each one more expensive than the last. From rare Lamborghinis to customized Bugattis, Mayweather's garage is a symbol of his financial success and penchant for high-end vehicles. The man's collection goes far beyond what most could dream of, and Smith, having been close to Floyd for years, has witnessed it all.
What's your definition of toy?
Well, private jet, Enzo, Bugatti. Let's walk over here. I'll show you a couple of toys. They call this the $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Before delving into the details, it's essential to understand the context surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. A native of Grand Rapids, Michigan, Mayweather became a professional boxer in 1996, and by the early 2000s, he had already established himself as one of the most skilled and talented boxers in the world. His undefeated record, flawless technique, and strategic mind made him a force to be reckoned with in the boxing ring.
People hate consistency when it comes to teams that you don't like and not a fan of, and they constantly win all the time. The Patriots went through the same thing. Small example, I'm gonna just take boxing for instance.
Right.
Floyd.
Yes.
Everybody loved when Floyd was winning early in his career.
Yes.
But when he kept winning,
yes,
he became the villain.
Yes.
And then everybody paying in and tuning in to see him lose.
Right.
That's it. Yes. He became the villain.
Additionally, Mayweather has been involved in lawsuits related to his business dealings. In 2022, he was named in a class action lawsuit alleging involvement in a cryptocurrency pump and dump scheme, though the case was later dismissed. More recently, in 2024, he faced a lawsuit seeking over $3 million in damages after allegedly instructing his bodyguard to assault a man at a Los Angeles restaurant in 2022.
How do you explain all that? How did that happen in your life?
Well, things happen. I had 3 children with a young lady. We wasn't seeing eye to eye, we wasn't seeing eye to eye. She was a little upset, had a little alcohol in her system. She was a little edgy, and I told her, basically I needed the keys to my truck. She was upset. She didn't want me to take the keys to the truck. So things got out of hand and blown out of, they blow things up bigger than what things are really made out to be. So things happen.
But nevertheless, you had to do 2 months, right?
Yeah, I did 2 months for a misdemeanor, yes.
So what is it like to have everything and then not have freedom?
That's what I come to find out. Freedom is very important. Freedom is very, very important. And I'm just, you know, I'm happy to be free. I'm happy to be back, you know, in my children's life.
Mayweather's alleged betrayal of Devin Haney has ignited controversy within the boxing community. Once a mentor to Haney, Mayweather is accused of leaking a selectively edited sparring video showing a young Haney struggling against Gervonta Davis. The footage, released just before Haney's high-profile bout with Ryan Garcia, was perceived by Haney as a deliberate attempt to undermine his confidence and provide Garcia with a psychological edge.
They go through maybe like a rough moment, like the people around them kind of start changing and things. And I know, like, you know, like you said, you waking up in the mansion, the Rolls Royce, I'm sure 30, 40 people around.
Yeah.
Has that part happened where it was like people around you kind of shifted or?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that necessarily. I think I just had to, you know, cut the grass low.
The deterioration of the Haney-Mayweather relationship reveals the darker side of Floyd's pettiness. In a moment where discretion was expected, Mayweather allegedly leaked private sparring footage of Haney being bested by Gervonta Davis. The clip ended up in Ryan Garcia's hands, who used it to mock Haney online, a clear violation of trust and sportsmanship.
His fellow American. Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather watched on as Davis appeared to dominate. So, Haney has now issued a response on Twitter. Never did they post a chopped up edited video. 16-year-old and they're in there holding. My bet with AB pops. Andrew and Broner, I presume that means. We bet Andrew and Broner pops and he honoured it and paid. Ryan, we watched you quit and we will not, and we are not the same and never will be.
Floyd Mayweather's ex-partner and mother of his children, Josie Harris, once expressed profound concern over his transformation, stating she never imagined he'd change so drastically over 21 years. She hinted at deeper issues surrounding Mayweather that remain hidden from public view. In a 2014 interview, Harris described experiencing anxiety at the thought of seeing him, underscoring the emotional toll of their past. Their son, Karan, also recounted witnessing a disturbing incident involving his parents, reflecting the family's internal struggles.
So you've known Floyd since he was a little puppy.
Not a little puppy, a teeny bopper. 21 years.
21 years,
yeah.
Amen. Can you tell us some intricate stories about Floyd Mayweather and two, how he's grown in the 21 years?
He's definitely grown in these last 21 years. When I met him, he was, you know, he still had his little thing, you know, going on, living in just a regular condo. You know, I didn't see, you know, him go from here to here, you know.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and former trainer, has expressed confusion over Floyd's recent lifestyle choices. He noted that Floyd's pattern of purchasing buildings and diving into various ventures seems chaotic. Jeff admitted that he doesn't understand Floyd's actions anymore, highlighting a growing distance between them. He mentioned that Floyd's current circle has become more like his family than his actual relatives, indicating a shift in Floyd's personal relationships.
I have no idea. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily see Floyd very much. So we don't really get a chance to talk very much. And so I don't really know what's going on with him. I know he's doing things that, you know, to better his life, like, you know, buying homes and buying, you know, different things. And so, I mean, I don't know exactly what he's doing. So, I mean, I haven't seen him in quite some time. And I haven't heard about him talking about doing any more exhibitions. Maybe he will, maybe he won't, I don't know.
Further complicating matters, discussions on online forums suggested that Mayweather's debts might be linked to gambling or loans from Emirati individuals. Speculation also arose about his travels between Israel and the UAE, with some suggesting that his activities in Israel may have strained relations with Emirati creditors.
Turns out that the rumors were true and Floyd Mayweather has been trapped in Dubai for the last 50 days. Gervonta Davis was the first to claim it. Now multiple insider sources have confirmed that he is in fact trapped in Dubai for a debt that has nothing to do with boxing. After doing a little digging, it seems that someone in his camp while he was shopping for jewelry in Dubai stole one of the pieces, got away with it, and then blocked all communication with Mayweather. Since then, Floyd has already paid for the jewelry, but they refuse to let him go until they get their piece back. And allegedly, this guy right here is the thief that started this whole mess.
advise you are not to come to Dubai. And if there is anything from Dubai police, we are happy to serve you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Joe Rogan has openly criticized Floyd Mayweather's financial habits, particularly his tendency to neglect tax obligations. Rogan emphasized that such negligence could attract the attention of the IRS, leading to serious legal consequences. He pointed out that regardless of one's wealth, failing to meet federal obligations can result in significant penalties and legal scrutiny. This warning highlights the importance of financial responsibility and the potential repercussions of overlooking tax responsibilities.
I owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money that there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell those.
Floyd's lavish spending is well documented. Reports indicate that he once spent $5 million in a single week on buildings and a new jet. Such expenditures have raised questions about his financial stability and priorities. Critics argue that these actions are more about maintaining an image than sound financial planning.
Motion of nostalgia, you know what I mean? Because seeing Floyd Mayweather with all this money and cars and clothes and hoes and yada, 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 it just kind of reminded me. There was a small segment in that episode that stated that a lot of fighters believe in their immortality. You know what I mean? We've seen this before. So the question I ask, we have seen this movie before. Boxers traditionally going broke. You know, they start off well, so flamboyant with all this money and all these cars, and they have businesses they invest in. There's something special, you know, at least in their minds they are. And then after either retirement or near retirement or after the fight game has left them, traditionally boxers go broke, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying this is going to happen to Floyd Mayweather, but I swear on everything, man, I hope it doesn't happen to Floyd Mayweather, because Floyd Mayweather is going to go down in the halls of history, ladies and gentlemen, as possibly top 3 to top 5 to top 10 of all-time greats. I mean, depending on how you view Floyd Money Mayweather. But however, he is definitely the #1 boxer of my era, ladies and gentlemen, of my time on this earth of watching this sport of boxing. No one has the skill set of Floyd Money Mayweather. Carve it up, chop it up how you like. Get on the debate about his opponents, all this other crap. We can have that for another video. But this man is going to go down in history as an all-time great without a doubt. And and I understand the argument for those who may even present the argument that he's the #1 greatest of all time. I see valid points in that argument. I don't agree with that, but I see valid points in that argument. This is a great boxer. We are going to miss Floyd Money Mayweather when he leaves the sport, ladies and gentlemen. But the fact remains, Floyd Money Mayweather and all of his accomplishments and all of the great things he's done inside the ring, however, it seems to be playing the same tune or acting in the same movie of a lot of boxers that make a lot of money and just go on a spending spree with it and fucking, you know, end up broke in their later years, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you think of some of the greatest boxers through the eons of time. You can start with like Joe Louis, for crying out loud. Joe Louis, this is a man who made plenty of money. This was the Brown Bomber. This is a man who had 12 straight years of reign in the heavyweight division, ladies and gentlemen.
Mayweather's approach aligns with a buy low, sell high philosophy, capitalizing on distressed assets with the expectation of future appreciation. While returns may be modest in the short term, akin to those of real estate investment trusts offering around 5 to 6% annually, the long-term prospects, especially with strategic enhancements and market recovery, present substantial upside.
First investment was real estate, commercial real estate, skyscrapers actually. I looked at certain athletes' career and I said, I don't want to end up like that. So what I did was this. It started off with $5 million. Put up $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month, every month on the 18th.
This investment underscores Mayweather's commitment to building generational wealth through real estate, leveraging his earnings from boxing into ventures that offer both financial returns and legacy-building opportunities. His belief in the enduring value of real estate, particularly in prime urban locations, drives his investment decisions.
How in 36 months, of course, with one of my new investments, I would be making $300 million a month. But
what investment is that?
Just in real estate.
I got you.
And I'm heavy in real estate. I'm real heavy in real estate. Even though, you know, I got my own liquid, and if that means cash for those, I break it down in layman's terms. Even though I got a lot of cash, OPM.
Okay.
OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all keep y'all credit right.
In October 2024, Floyd Mayweather Jr. announced a significant foray into real estate, entering into a $402 million contract to acquire over 60 multifamily buildings in Upper Manhattan, encompassing approximately 1,000 rental units. The seller, Black Spruce Management, is a prominent player in New York's real estate market. This deal was positioned as a move to provide affordable housing and diversify Mayweather's investment portfolio beyond boxing.
Ever. All right. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here is what Floyd Mayweather had said at the time on a video that he posted on his Instagram.
I love bringing the people into my lifestyle, showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners.
However, subsequent reports have raised questions about the extent of Mayweather's ownership in this venture. While Mayweather claimed full acquisition, property records do not indicate a complete transfer of ownership. Experts suggest that he may have acquired only a minority stake with options for future expansion. His real estate firm, Veda Properties, has not publicly confirmed the details.
Guess what? You can do the same.
All right. Well, now we're trying to figure out what happened, right, with Business Insider. So according to another update, he did ink a $402 million deal for a Black Spruce portfolio. When he said that it was all his and no one invested, he meant no one was funding his part of the investment but him. And so I think this is something where maybe he owns a piece of this or shares in it, but it hasn't changed hands because the majority owner is still the same owner that it was before. I'm trying to understand what happened with this, but I know there's a story that's circulating, so just putting it out there. Whew, it's a tough one. I'm trying to understand as a real estate person myself what exactly he is communicating when he's saying that he owns this, because they're trying to make it seem like he doesn't, but what it seems like is that he owns shares of these buildings, and it's a larger, it's part of an investment that he did on his own.
That makes sense. I'm gonna let you do the real estate stuff.
Mayweather Jr. recently addressed rumors suggesting his $402 million real estate investment had led to financial troubles. He asserted that he independently acquired 62 buildings in Manhattan, stating, "I used my own money, and no one else is in on this."
Yes, Floyd Mayweather has reportedly acquired 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan, spending approximately $402 million. This substantial investment was made through his real estate firm, Veda Properties, and is intended to expand his portfolio in New York City real estate market. Mayweather has expressed that this purchase holds significant personal meaning, reflecting his humble beginnings and desire to provide affordable housing options. He stated, "Growing up, I used to dream about owning just one home by myself. When you work hard, you can achieve anything. However, it's important to note that while Mayweather has announced this acquisition, some reports suggest that property records do not yet confirm a transfer of ownership. Experts speculate that he may have acquired a minority stake with options for future expansion rather than full ownership of all 62 buildings outright. In summary, Floyd Mayweather has publicly claimed to purchase 62 buildings in Upper Manhattan for $402 million, aiming to enhance affordable housing in the area. While these claims have been widely reported,
Despite Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s public assertions of sole ownership over a $402 million real estate acquisition in Upper Manhattan, property records do not corroborate a full transfer of ownership. Analysts suggest that Mayweather may have secured only a minority stake in the portfolio, with potential options for future expansion. Furthermore, his real estate firm, Veda Properties, has not publicly confirmed the specifics of the deal, leaving the extent of his involvement unclear.
Floyd, I hope the $402 million ain't left his bank account yet, then. I remember Floyd was on a talk show. I think 50 Cent posted that as well. And he said something like, you know, they say, if you know how much money you got, then you don't really got enough money. So they say, if you know how many buildings you got, then you ain't got enough buildings. ¿Cómo? Who told you that? I hope your real estate broker or investor, whoever handles this real estate, I hope they ain't tell you that. Because it sounds to me like if you could go for that, then yo, you own 50. You own 50 buildings.
What do you think about Stephen A. Smith's explosive takedown of Floyd Mayweather? Do you believe the blackmail allegations hold weight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.